What is up, man? WYMB. What does that mean? What is up? All right, guys. What is up, man? Appreciate y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. It sounds like y'all can hear me pretty good. If y'all can't, let me know. And pretty much, you can pretty much guess what the conversation of today is about. It's about what's going on in the oil field, what I've seen, what's trucking been like, and most importantly, for those of you that have been asking, what and who is hiring. I went to the. Give me a second while I get all this right here lined out. Brandon Thomas, I can hear you all right, man. Appreciate that, bro. Is the music too loud? And thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and get to what we came to talk about today. Any questions that you guys got? Now is the perfect time to get it out the way because I'm telling you, we got some time to kill today. And biggest thing is that y'all can hear me, and I can hear y'all. Damn it. And what's been going on in the oil field is Biden's been screwing everybody. Biden's been screwing everybody, man. But you know what? I've learned that in the oil and gas industry, you just pay attention to what's going on in politics because it may or may not end up affecting you. You know, it's kind of like watching the stock market. You pay attention to what's going on, it may or may not end up affecting you, but at least you have some idea. The biggest thing is don't go off on a wild tangent chasing something that you're hearing in the news. The biggest things you can do is make sure you put yourself in the best possible situation that you can to help yourself. And shout out to Brandon Thomas, man. But without further ado, let's get down to business because we came out here to talk about some oil field stuff. All right, if you look currently on your screen, whether you're looking at your phone, looking at it on a tablet, looking at it on whatever kind of device you got, casing hands are hiring, flooring hands are hiring. Uh, those of you that don't know what a floor hand does, you can type it in the excuse me, you can type it into YouTube floor hand jobs, what a floor hand does, derrick hand, what a derrick hand does. You're gonna find out on some workover rigs, drilling rigs. I'm not so sure about, but I'm pretty sure it's about the same. That those two tend to be interchangeable at some point, you know, because I've heard it different ways from operators. Operators are the guys who are they're the guy up underneath the supervisor. Sometimes the supervisor is referred to as an operator, depending on how many people they have on the workover rig, the drilling rig. The supervisor is the driller, but I've also heard it called differently. So it depends on who you're talking to. But floor hand is usually the entry level. But I've also heard, and Keontae told me this. He said some of the companies that he worked at, the entry level was a dairy can because they will put you up there out of the way. Have somebody train you, put you up there out of the way, and you just wrangle a pipe all day. So as far as entry level goes, and you can see it right over here if you're looking on your screen. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. See down here where it says experience entry level right there. Right up underneath qualifications, entry level, none, entry level to train with a mentor. And this company, who was this? Express Energy Odessa. Hey guys, another thing. When you come out here to Odessa, Midland, I found this out from resourcing and making phone calls to companies and stuff. Not companies, but hiring agencies, because I wanted to see how similar it is to North Dakota and the way North Dakota is as far as North Dakota has a command center, Elwood Staffing, and they'll tend to have some oil and gas jobs, construction jobs as the construction season and stuff comes along. And here, only one of them that I called actually said that they had temp to hire and temp oil work. She said it was pipe inspection, which means pipe cleaning. You hear pipe inspection, pipe cleaning is usually the same thing unless it's something different within a company. And it's a really dirty job, but it tends to pay well because that's why they usually end up getting temp people to do it because it sucks and nobody wants to do it. There's a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, guys getting off work, coming back to the temp agency after they work that day to get paid, and you see how dirty they are. It's a dirty job, so keep that in mind if you're going for pipe inspector or pipe cleaning, or sometimes maybe pipe tech or something. They call it different stuff to make it sound make it sound better than what it is. Casing, floor hand. So keep that in mind when you're looking up floor hand or dairy can. You know, man, let's I don't want to bring this all the way across the screen. All right, that's good. Trying to think what else. And if you guys have any comments, now's the perfect time to throw them out there or questions. And I gotta send a couple of messages out to a couple guys. More than likely, they might be working, so they might not necessarily have a chance to give y'all their input. Anyway, back to the jobs. Field safety specialist, one oil job search. That that sounds more like a yeah, that looks like some garbage. Field safety specialist, one oil job search. Y'all see that right there? That look like some garbage. Frank's Oil, that's a legitimate company. Hiring now. What y'all talking about with all the exclamation points? Hiring field hands. Field hands is usually going to be Rouseabout. Rouseabout, I would like to put y'all on to another YouTuber, but I don't know if he's going to continue making videos in light of certain stuff that has happened. And if you're watching this, bro, I wish you all the best, man. You know, let me know how it turns out, because the day I messaged you, man, I was messaging you about today and about an ongoing show and episode for the future. But I don't know how we could work that out now. I don't know what's gonna happen. So if something changes, let me know. If not, man, don't worry about it, man. Your career and where you're trying to go at in the future is more important. And I'm just some dude making YouTube videos, bro. And I'd rather you be in the best position for you and your family where y'all going forward, and just social media, YouTube, all this stuff. It's a fun thing to do, bro. But I wish you success in everything you fixing to go do. And I'm pretty sure where you're at now, you could be getting groomed to be a company guy. So keep that stuff in mind, man, because where you're at now, there's a good chance that you you could end up being a company man in the future. It's just a matter of where the company goes and how long you stay there and how much experience you get, especially if the opportunity presents itself. All right. How you feel? Field hands, pretty much field hands are going to be your general labor, pretty much a roustabout. That's pretty much what a field hand is. You guys can go on to, you guys need a link, don't you? You guys need a link. Um, should have thought about that before I started clicking on stuff. Give me just a second. I want to give you the cleanest link. Golly, I'm not. I'm not copy and pasting all of that. Oh, there's a whole bunch of comments over here. Hold on a minute. I missed y'all when I was reading off all this stuff. Junebug trucking sandboxes. What a typical day like hauling sandboxes. I've never done sandboxes, Junebug. And since I missed y'all's comments and stuff as I was going through what was on the job search page, I'll go through y'all comments for a minute. Then I'll go back to the job search. Junebug trucking. What's a typical day like hauling sandboxes? Pretty much like what it is hauling pneumatic. It's pretty much like what it is hauling pneumatic. I think there's all right. The last video that I made where it's nighttime and I'm driving by all the sandboxes. When I got there to get my load, it was more sandboxes than it was pneumatics. And not only that, it was like 10 of them sitting off to the side. It wasn't in line. I'm like, okay, y'all just sit there. I'm gonna go on by y'all. And I'm looking and like, okay, you can keep sitting there. And then about 10 more of the truck came behind me. I was there for probably like 2 hours. 2 hours to get loaded. There was some issues with putting the information into the computer, and then I had to kind of wait on that to get fixed, and then I was able to go 20 feet and wait in line again. So it's pretty much hurry up, wait, repeat. And that's sandbox, that's pneumatic. Pneumatic, you have a little bit of a room that you can work with it because you can offload faster. So let's say there are 15 trucks that are going out to get loads. There are 15 trucks going out to get loads. You got yours. You got your load dispatched or sent to you at at 8:20. It's 8:20 right now. So 8:20, wherever you at, now you got to go pick up this load from where you at. Let's say it's 30 miles from where you at. 10 other people have already gotten the message. 5 of them got it 15 minutes before you did. So 5 of them already had the message, could have already been gone, but they may be doing something, maybe in a truck stop, maybe doing this or that. They may be at the house or at their apartment or at the store. So 2 of those were at the store. 3 of those were doing something else. So those 10 can either leave or they can do whatever it is you're going to do. You do have some wiggle room when it comes to from the time you get the load, from the time that you receive the dispatch of the load to the time that you go pick the load up. You got some wiggle room in there. Just don't get crazy with it. So sandbox, be careful with your gates on your sandbox. Your gate is your bottom of it's like a door. It slides open. That's the only ones I know of is the ones that slide open. The round I don't know the name of the company. It's the only company I've seen with them. It's if you ask Chase and Andrew Jackson, I don't have no pictures on here. I don't have any pictures on here, and I'm positive we're in 2022. Hello. Open. Thank you. Hold on just a second. I'm pretty positive I don't have any pictures in here of what I'm talking about. And I'm pretty sure it would be all day trying to find one. So we ain't gonna go down that route. Calfrac is hiring. Yep, Brandon Thomas and Calfrac is an awesome company. So for those of you that are interested in frac, you're of a physical nature, you like physical work, and you're able to get out there and work. Frac is an awesome opportunity because you're going to have quite a few opportunities to work and learn different stuff. And Calfrac, my experience working at Calfrac, that was the best fracking company I ever worked with. Now this was in North Dakota. Come on, man. This was in, like I was saying, this was in North Dakota. And I like that song, man. I gotta put that on repeat, bro. It's just like a real good laid back kind of thing. Make sure it's really good if you're on Wi-Fi trying to plug it into your router. Looking closer. Okay. My experience working in North Dakota, working at Calfrac. Calfrac is at that time when I worked there. I'm pretty sure it's relatively similar now. I still know some people that work there. Calfrac is one of the best run and best managed fracking companies that there is. They're a Canadian company and they've been fracking for quite some time. They're the same company that sent me to Canada, and that's the first time that I've ever been out of the United States. They take good care of their equipment. They have their own mechanics. The only stuff that their mechanics don't work on in North Dakota when I was there, they didn't work on major internal engine stuff. What I mean by that is, I'm not just trying to go through the pictures. When there's something wrong with the horsepower, they either take it to Detroit or Cat. And that's the main two companies that make those big horsepowers. If you've ever seen one, go through my YouTube channel. You'll see what some horsepowers look like. You hear me call them quinplexes and twinplexes and all kinds of stuff. But Calfrac is an awesome company to work for. And I heard that Calfrac was trying out a new schedule of 15 and 8 or something like that. When I was there, they gave you a stipend for your housing. I think it's $400 a month. Now, this was 2017. I don't know about now. They gave you per diem, which was like 25 or $30 a day, every day that you weren't in the yard. And it was 14 and 7. Quite a few frac companies are 14 and 7. The reason is anything longer than 14 and 7 is, as far as working wise. After 14 days, you like them people you work with start getting on your nerves, man. You know, that first 7 days is like, yeah, you get to that 10th day and you've already heard the same thing that the guy that you ride to work with and you ride back to the yard with tell you that he's told you at least 2 times this hitch, and you have worked with him 6 months so far. So keep that stuff in mind. Keep that stuff in mind. I got to make sure I look at the the camera when I'm talking to y'all. I keep looking down here where the screen where the move that up there, and so hopefully this right here is working out. So Brandon Thomas, uh, down to 8FS sandbox sucks. I haven't done sandbox, but I've heard both. I've heard man sandbox sucks. I've heard sandbox is awesome. And Junebug Trucking asks why does sandbox suck? So down to 8FS now is the perfect time to explain that. Diana Gonzalez, are there oil field jobs? Yes, Diana, there are oil field jobs for women. Like I know y'all hear stuff about, it's such tough work. It's such tough work. All of the oil field is not tough work. All of the oil field is not tough work. Quite a bit of it is actually pretty doggone easy. It'll be some work that you'll have to put some effort into, but not all of it is break your back work. If you're a woman, you're more than likely you're not going in the direction of drilling. You're not going in the direction of work over rig. You're not going in the direction of fracking, but I have seen some women that worked in frack, and they were the feminine women that worked in frack. And one I was in orientation with, and I don't remember what crew she was on when I was there. I don't know if she still works there. She was either she wasn't Chinese. She might have been Filipino, but she left me a message one time on um, YouTube or something way back when. But she worked in frac, so there are great opportunities for women in the oil field. And I've actually reached out to a couple of women here. One, actually, both of them said that they'll be interested in making a video about life in the oil field, but it's trying to get together a time because usually the only time I see her is when I'm going out there, and she works over here, and trying to have a schedule and stuff like that is it's a little bit difficult. But Diane Gonzalez, are there oil field jobs for women? Absolutely, since the jobs are more for men due to the fact of the job it requires. There's all kinds of oil field jobs. I tried explaining to the young lady that works in reception here that there are quite a few job opportunities. You know what? Let's go look and see. I'll explain it to you, Diana Gonzalez, and for anybody else that may not be sure. All right, let's see. All right, as far as jobs for women, flowback, don't do it. If it says roustabout, don't do it. It says field of the hand, don't do it. Any driving job for women, pretty much hauling water, women can do it, and hauling sand, women can do it, but women may have trouble when there's a problem like if you plug the sand off, you're gonna have to unhook that hose, empty that sand out that sucker, and then hook it back up and start going again. But as long as you have somebody that trains you good, trains you how to go through the process, what do you do when you have to troubleshoot stuff? I'll admit it, I came out here blind. I didn't know what I was going to be doing, but I asked a whole lot of questions to everybody that I had an opportunity to ask them to, and I learned along the way. Warehouse, oil field jobs. If it says warehouse, ladies, more than likely y'all can do that. CDL jobs, y'all can do that. Field service technician. Okay, when you're looking on the screen right here, let me make sure y'all can see this also. All right, when you're looking on the screen right here, Well, it says field service technician. That can mean anything, man. So for all you guys that are out there, field service technician, field hand, anything that has hand in it is usually entry level. Field service technician is usually entry level. And some of these it says CDL truck driver, one oil job search. Midland, Texas via BB. Ignore that. Some of this stuff is just junk. Some of this stuff is somebody trying to steal your identity. And some of it is a labor ready placement job place. If it ain't the company hiring, leave it alone unless you're going in the direction of you want to try something. There, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Tiger Monkey! Tiger Monkey, what's up, man? Did you get that message, man? I didn't see it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I don't know if you're busy, if you're working. Shout out to Tanker Monkey. Shout out to J Trades. Shout out to Chase and Andrew Jackson. And these are all awesome YouTubers who have been YouTubing all over the world and everywhere else in between. Shout out to Mike's Mischief. Oh, yeah. Mike's Mischief, thank you for making that video about the StreamYard and how you set your StreamYard up. I watched it probably about 6-7 times, and this is how we have the StreamYard here today. So you guys can most definitely be looking for more content in the future. I'm definitely focused on having a show every week with guests, just like a show that you watch on television. So keep that stuff in mind. Be on the lookout for it. If you guys see me out here slipping, like, hey man, you ain't made another episode to got it. What's the name of this doggone video? You're like, hey, you ain't made another episode to what the thumbnail says. But anyway, I do not want to get too distracted. If I go off on a wild tangent and I was about to say something, please leave a comment down here so that I can get back to it. Oh man, there's a lot of comments on here. Hold on a minute. Brandon Thomas says it's inconsistent. All right, Brandon Thomas makes a good point, and he also makes me think about this. All right, if it takes you 2 to 3 hours between the time you get to pick up a load of sand to the time you get loaded, then the driving time to get there, then you have to wait who knows how many hours. The wait time is usually what hurts quite a few people because it's the wait time that tends to get people. Because if it's taking the equivalent of 12 hours, because I heard Andrew talking about this, if it takes the equivalent of 12 hours to offload a load of sand between the time you pick it up to the time you're finished with it, and then you're deadhead back to go get another load, it doesn't add up. So when there's multiple wells, there's multiple work, and then you can kind of bang those out. Tyler also brought up a very good question when he was asking me something. I was laughing because I knew where he was going with it. When you can chain loads together, that's awesome. So let's say you have a contract or you are leased to more than one company. You may have a load that's picking up on one side and a load that load's picking up on the right and is delivering on the left. Now, after you deliver that load, or once you get to that well, if you have the ability to see your dispatches, or if you have the ability to dispatch yourself and you can see that there's a sand mine over here somewhere, and you can get that load from there, take it back over here. You can utilize your time a whole lot better. But there's no guarantee that it's going to work out like that, especially if you are a one truck company. But if you can, that's awesome. That's why having multiple options will benefit you. And Brandon Thomas says that sand is inconsistent. Down to ADFS, unless you get paid by the hour, don't do it. Sandbox was created to take the tension away from the pneumatics. Brandon Thomas says, too much up down for me. Tanker Money, Diana, my wife, has been working injection wells in the oil field for 10 years. Tanker Monkey just said it himself. Tanker Monkey, you working, man. You working, bro. I really got to get to these comments, man. I'm talking more than I'm reading, but I'm trying to make sure I give y'all good, solid information. It's time for a new song. Not that. Down to AFS. Hold on, I gotta go back. So you guys can see what Tanker Monkey said. Tanker Monkey's been in North Dakota for a minute, bro. If it's North Dakota related, more than likely, man, Tanker Monkey's gonna know, bro. And I can't wait to get back up there and get out of this. And down to ADFS sandboxes, unskilled pneumatic, take some learning. Curve sandbox is basically like a sand hauler on the ports. Yeah, I will say this. For any of you that are thinking about, Tyler, if you're watching this, any of you guys that are thinking about doing pneumatic, it's easy when you get to when you get to the rhythm of it. I had to figure it all out. Like people told me stuff, but it was me having to go out there and do it. And then, okay, that's not working. Okay, that's not working. Okay, I'm telling you, that's exactly what it was like. Like I asked the guy next to me, so I opened this one up. Open this one up. Yeah, I think it was like my third or fourth load that I'd ever hauled. The guy next to me didn't know what he was doing either. He was like, I think he spoke English, or it was like very little English, and he was like, open. I'm like, I'm really not the guy to be asking, but yeah, open that one. He was like looking at the gauge. He was like, good. Yeah. I was like, you really should be asking me, man. But hey, man, we gotta get it. What else? Tanker Monkey 9 says, thank you for the reply. Which frac crews do you haul sand for big money? I haul sand for as many frac crews as I possibly can, man. Some information is what you call it, proprietary. Sandbox, be careful with the lids up top, usually broken and fall off. Or the gate comes open when you after you get loaded, and then you see this long trail of sand, and he's usually going around the corner before they'll stop and see it. Shout out to Chasing Andrew Jackson, CIG? Question mark. I don't know what that is. And Brandon Thomas says, don't mess with that sand. Don't do it. CIG. Oh, yes. think that's the box. Yep. And Tanker Monkey also made a good point. There are quite a few female truck drivers and ladies. The trucking is for everybody, man. The trucking is for everybody that's interested and willing to get the job done. Trucking is for you. You know, the oil field is for you just as much. The oil field, the only difference is because I can tell you, I don't. I get I kind of get dirty, but I kind of don't. When sand is blowing, like somebody's blowing sand, like I just backed in, I don't open my truck. Like I I don't open my door. I just wait till the wind stops blowing, or I see sand stop blowing, and I open my door because I spend quite a bit of time in my truck when I'm not in the hotel or something. And sometimes I'll camp out closer to where the sand mills or the sand mines are, and I'll hang out there. And because that's the closest place to where the loads are. Cubic says I'm doing OTR now, but my buddy is in Midland Holland Sandbox and he's trying to get me to come down there. He said he's making some good money. Well, man, the balance of it, I think, is the the money that people are making. They're not spending as much of it in fuel. Because God, because even now, when I look at how much I'm spending in fuel and something else that you have to take, something else that you have to take into account. Running your AC burns a lot more fuel than not running your AC. And I have seen all kinds of hookups of generators on the back. One dude had a flatbed and he had his generator up underneath his flatbed towards the back so he wouldn't have to hear the noise. And he had the power cord running up underneath his frame all the way to it came out by his pigtail so he could unhook it and hook it back up. So it's just a matter, man. You got to keep your mind open and you got to be creative because that fuel is what's going to cost you a lot of money. Matter of fact, fuel is costing more than anything else. Hell, man, fuel is costing more than a doggone truck note. If you're driving over the road, that fuel costs you more than a truck note. Because fuel wasn't $5 when I came out here. Fuel was like fuel was like 475, something around that range, 4.99 or something. Because before I went home after I went and bought the trailer, I was getting fuel for less than $5, and now we're at 5.35, 5.40. Mud flap is your best deal when it comes to fuel. For those of you that are owner operators, is hands down. Tanker Monkey, you may not be in the area for mud flap. I don't know if it's up there in that corner of North Dakota. But let's keep going to the comments. I appreciate your Diane Gonzalez says I appreciate your feedback. I will look into it. Thanks, Tanker Monkey. $17.50 an hour, $35 per load. No. $35 per load, 17 an hour. What is it, 12-hour days? $12-hour days. Pretty much, I guess. 210 plus. It's like $245 a day and $35 per load. So plus 35 plus $280 a day. I don't know. Guess man, if somebody comes off of driving over the road, I mean, they'll be like, yeah, that's pretty good. Depending on the person. But what time? Any more questions you guys got? Now's the perfect time. Rumor is frac is going to slow down to let drilling catch up. Who knows for sure? Just what I'm hearing. Tanker Monkey, you made a good point, man. I thought about that. I watched your video with man. That's one thing that's different about down here versus up there. Up there, it's going to take me probably the same amount of time to network and get to know people the way I did up there. The area was smaller, so it was a small town feel to it. So talking to people was a lot more easier. Midland, Odessa, like this is a big area. Like this ain't no little small town over here, and it's split between the two. I think they got what, three Walmarts. You got a Walmart there, a Walmart there, and a Walmart over here. So it would it would take some time to be able to build up to some of the stuff that I've done and made in North Dakota. Or the way I'm looking at it, if I go back to North Dakota and work, go back to the job I was doing before with the guys I was working before, I could pretty much network both places. And that's kind of an idea that I have about expanding the show that way. So I can utilize both areas, and also have an ear to the ground on what's going on in Texas and what's going on in North Dakota, because both places are a little bit different. There's different information and news you'll hear from North Dakota that you won't hear from Texas. You'll see one move before you see the other one, and you can kind of watch stuff from one and kind of know what's about to happen to the other one. Like when Tanker Monkey's talking about fracking is going to be slowing down to let drilling catch up, and that really seems like what they're doing across the board, especially if the oil companies are looking to maximize their profits at the moment. They want to make sure that they don't expand too far and they end up crashing the market intentionally, because that hurts them, that hurts the American people, that hurts the workers. And then you have something that similar was going on in North Dakota, where people like they just don't want to come back up there to go through that same thing all over again, even if they make less money where they are. So that's something to keep in mind. Diana, your experience and honesty helps me figure out where to follow up with the job and opportunities. Tanker Monkey. What do you call what's you live down there? It's a company that you see all the women coming to work in the morning time at the Come and Go by the college. The one back there, that Come and Go that's close to the lake in Williston. That Come and Go in the morning time, you'll see probably 20 women that go work out in the oil field, and most of them are working for B&G Oilfield Services in Williston, North Dakota. And I've seen more women working there in the oil field than anywhere else. And they're all coming to work, getting their snacks or whatever they're getting, and they're going out on 1804. So I know they ain't going out there to the office, because the office is in town. I talked to one of them. She said they do a gauger, which it also has another title to it, but I can't remember what it is. And it's not a lease operator, but it's a gauger. It's something else. Tanker Monkey probably knows. But Diana Gonzalez, hope that information helps. It's all kinds of money in North Dakota. I'm grossing 35 a week hauling production water. Man, I miss hauling water, man. Hauling water is pretty cool. How can I compare hauling water to hauling sand? Uh, Hauling water would be, if you're getting paid by the barrel, it's like a psychotic run all the time. Especially if you're a company driver, because in your mind, to make the amount of money you want to make, you got to haul a certain amount to get there. But if you're getting paid by hour, it's more of a, you just go do your wells, you go knock out what you got to go knock out, and you don't have that extra weight added on you. I've hauled for I've hauled hourly at Purity Oilfield Services. It's on a different management now, and I don't know anybody that works there now. Maybe two people or so that still work there from when I worked there. Maybe less than that. East Side, Brandon Thomas. Wait a minute, Brandon Thomas. Brandon Thomas. Okay, that's somebody different. Uh, East Side, how long is training to learn pneumatic? Training to learn pneumatic is relatively quick. It's What's up, dude? What you up to? Um, Learning pneumatic is relatively quick. As far as I know, the last part that I caught on to was because I would see other guys do it. They would just open their bottom gate all the way up on one of their pods, and then they would start like, they were still blowing off that way. I couldn't figure out what they were doing, but I remember this one dude. He said you can open your bottom gate or your bottom pod all the way, and then you're adjusting your pressure with your top field. And it took me a minute to catch on, but then I started messing with it one day, and I saw that, okay, that's the fastest way to blow off your sand. That's the fastest way to blow off your sand is bottom gates open all the way, and then you can meter your pressure and the amount of air that's being pushed from the bottom to the amount of pressure that's being pushed inside of the pneumatic tank with your top field. And what you end up doing is when you open the bottom all the way up, you're just gonna be pushing just a little bit of air, just a little bit of air. Once you pretty much once you got the air primed up, you just pushing just a little bit of air so that you can keep that amount of pressure up there, and the rest of the air pressure is pushing the sand out through the hose. The longer the hose, the longer it's going to take you. So keep that in mind when you're blowing off sand. The longer the hose, the longer it's going to take you. You Eastside said, do you have to get cars to haul sand, like hauling fuel? Cars. I don't know what are you talking about? Cars. Placards? Like hazmat? No. Um, Charles Lowe says, so are you still trucking across? No, I'm not trucking across country. Are you back I'm back in the oil field, man. If so, why? I would have stayed over the road longer if over the road had stayed fun. But once it wasn't fun, and I mean casual, like it was I was casually making money, saving it, fun, doing what I wanted to where it's like the noose was like doing this, and I'm like, I don't like that. So that's my best explanation of it. And if I'm gonna do something as far as working wise that is gonna be anything like that, I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be something I like. I like oil field. I like certain stuff about the oil field and I like learning stuff. So for me, pursuing more what I was doing before I was driving trucks, or possibly hauling water, but pretty sure I'm going back to coil, man. Brandon Thomas says 30% alone. Brandon Thomas says Cartwright water is $1.22 and 1.5. You saying $1.22 a barrel to haul, and $1.50 a barrel, Brandon? Cartwright water. Cartwright to my fresh water. Brandon Thomas says 155 a barrel. Okay. My trailer holds 160. Yeah, Tanker Monkey was telling that they got rid of the 130s and they pretty much want everybody to have what 150s and up or 160s and up. 155 a barrel. My trailer holds 160 barrels of water. I get paid 30% of that, and I do turn around in an hour. Yeah, because usually hauling water, unless they're backed up, you can just turn and you could turn and run. The only reason you wouldn't be able to turn and run hauling water is you get to you get to the disposal and you can only go to that one disposal. Well, it's you and 20 other trucks that have to go to that one disposal because even though there's another disposal next to it and another one right across the street, if you're in what's the one, the White Owl, NGL, and 1805 or something, those three that are right there close together, but you can only take yours to one. That kind of stuff will slow you up because it'll be you and 10 or 15 other trucks that have to go to that exact same one until you start sending messages to dispatch like, hey, we can't take it here. We can't take it here. I've been here an hour. I've been here an hour and a half. I've been here 2 hours. And that starts eating into what you're trying to get done within a day unless you're getting paid hourly. And you're getting paid good hourly. I mean, cars gain access to where you load the sand into the truck. Oh, like I mean, you just go there with the information that you got to give to them. Hey, you're picking up. This is your load information, and that's pretty much it. Cadillac Jack says almost 3 months into this new trucking life, doing flatbed to get some experience. They want to head up to the Bakken, hearing hauling crew pays the best. I've never hauled crew, but I've always heard that from people. The hauling crew pays good. Oh, yeah, he's driving. Tanker Monkey's probably busy doing something. Trying to think who else. Luke's probably at work. Jeff. And like I said, this is the first official episode. So hopefully there'll be more episodes to come in the future and guests to come in the future. This was kind of a video I've been putting off doing over a period of time, and I was trying to get some guests lined up, but it's not like I have a set schedule. But the frac finished up last night or today, sometime whenever it was. So the pre-fill to start filling everything up for the next one is supposed to be tomorrow. So that'll be a day they'll get that knocked out. Then it's supposed to start downhole Monday or Tuesday. So the way I look at it, if they say we're going to start Monday, that means they're going to start Tuesday. That's just the way I look at it. Plus, it's usually some kind of hang up of some kind. Somebody didn't tighten the bolts on the wellhead up all the way. Production water. I did like hauling production water, man. It was it was pretty cool. Also, hearing production water pays well. Production water it does pay well for what you're doing because it's kind of like hauling sand, except production water you're usually going to make more turns. For example, when we used to haul for Halcon, we would at one point we were getting 8 loads a day. This was 8 loads of 140 to 150 barrels, and 8 loads a day. And when you're doing 8 loads, the day flies by just like that. I mean, it flies by. Let's see, crude, excuse me, crude or production water, whatever pays well with a solid company, and to where I can save up and buy some land and build a ranch. Brandon Thompson says if you want to haul water, get with the local company. The company I work with has 3 saltwater disposals. Hell yeah. Golly. Hey man, you gotta be close by, bro. You gotta be close by. And if you're saying three, like the three I was talking about, the one right there, I don't remember the name of that. Because that's not Johnson's Corner, but north of there and then east. I don't remember the name of that. Look, King, yeah, because you got the King truck stop, and you keep going north, get to that roundabout. Used to not be a roundabout there, and then you go east. You got those three water disposals right there. So, and this water disposals all over Bakken, just like it is here in Texas. They're all over the place, and you have all different kinds. You have more the upscale kind. NGL, I don't know about now, but NGL used to cook food and stuff, and some of them they just had snacks and stuff or snack machines or whatever. Just go in there get whatever you want. So keep that in mind, guys. There's a lot of options out there for you. And since we said that, I'm gonna take a break for the comments. We're gonna get back to some oil field jobs. Field service technician. Let's go looking for some frack. Frack sand equipment operators for oil and gas industry direct hire Nexus staffing. Ignoring that. Hire One Source Energy Services. One Source. Hiring out. Let's see if that's legit or a hiring service. Quick apply. I don't see no website, so I'm kind of thinking this is a hiring service because it has a phone number on it for you to call and not. But it could be a company. It says One Source Energy Services, and where it says that little O, like there's no company name. Versus you get to Frack Tech, and it says Frack Tech Halliburton. So you know who you're going to apply for. You click on that sucker, it gives you the information. At least you know, hey, see full description. Let's see what else is on here. It gives you some more information for Frack Tech, entry level. Then all you have to do is look at this posting, go to Halliburton's website, and see if this same posting is on there, and apply. And when applying for Halliburton, I'll tell you a couple of things you need to know. You need to do your follow up with Halliburton. It's better if you have a reference, somebody who already works there, or you get somebody's email or phone number. But an email is better because when it asks you, how did you hear about Halliburton? How did you hear about this job at the very beginning of the application, which I haven't done in some years? It'll say, who referred you or how did you hear about this position? You put that person's email in there. So when you finish your application process, they get an email or they get a reference call or something. So you now have a point of contact within the company to get you where you're trying to get to within the company. Getting employed with Halliburton. Pro Petro, hydraulic fracturing equipment operator, Midland, Texas. You know what, man? Hold on a minute. We need to. Where is North Dakota? Because we need to do both. I'd like to do some videos on Oklahoma. Haven't worked in Oklahoma. Where is North Dakota? What the heck, man? Williston, North Dakota. There we go. What? Work 6 months per year, earn 70 to 100. Hey, are any of you guys looking at this right now? That's legit. That's a 14 on or 14 off. 14 days on, 14 days off. If you guys got any more questions, whatever you want, now's the time to be throwing them out there. Work 6 months per year, make 70 to 130 a year. That's legit. Because whenever somebody asks me what frac makes, I always tell them 70. That way, I'm giving them a low number. So anything over than that, it's a positive expectation that they can look forward to. At least 70. And Liberty Oilfield Services, and if Liberty is hiring in North Dakota, Liberty is hiring in Texas. So I hope you guys are seeing that right now. That work 6 months per year, earn 70 to 130. 14 days on, 14 days off. Now let's go back down here so y'all can see some of the benefits. Because it says it in two places. All right. As posted, Liberty is offering high-paying work in North Dakota. From their listing, work only 6 months out of the year and make 70,000 to 130,000. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. $400 for travel allowance for candidates that live more than 500 miles from the yard. Retention bonus of $3,000 after 9 months of employment. 8 hours or more worked in the field qualifies for $125 a day bonus. Man, what? Oh, Liberty ain't playing. For some of you entry level guys that are looking to get into the oil field, this is who you need to be applying for if you want to go do frac. The end. You want to go do frac. Liberty is who you need to be working for. You can go work for some of the other companies if you want to. Liberty is who you, because I'm looking at what they're saying they're offering, and this is what I've heard from other people that work there and other people that have been working there for a while. I don't want a third go round of frack. So, but if I did, I'd be ending this right now and I'd be applying. So, for any of you guys, if there's comments that I'm missing right now, give me a minute because I'm looking at the screen with the jobs and stuff on it. So it's gonna take a minute for me to finish going through what I was going through. Also, there's a job fair coming up. There's a job fair coming up. Look at my YouTube channel under posts. When you go to, oh, got it. When you go to my YouTube channel, go to community, tap on the community tabs, and it's the post from 11 days ago. Who's going and which company? It's a June 30th on the spot hiring. This is in Midland, Odessa, Texas, and this is going to be at the Marriott Hotel and Convention Center, 305 East 5th Street, Odessa, Texas. And I'm pretty sure I already looked to see where this was at. So, for any of you guys that are thinking about going, I don't have this picture on my computer, so you can go to the communities tabs on my YouTube channel and you'll see it. It's the second post down. The most recent one is from the taco gas station stripes here. Which, man, that fresh chicken fajita is off the chain. Yeah, we're talking about frack. Location. I need to change that. How the heck do I change that? Because I got Williston on here. And location 3 6. Okay. Mike's Mischief. Hey, look me up on Facebook Messenger, live YouTube stream. Doggone it. Live YouTube stream. Just copy and paste it. Give me just a second. No. But let's see what else we got going on here. Man, I know there's more than that. But let's go to Indeed. Indeed's gonna have everything. Calfrax hiring 70 to 100 a year. That rotation is gonna be different with them though. You can just about guarantee that. And a $1,500. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. When you start seeing the bonuses come back in the oil field, that's kind of the time to be. That's kind of the time to be getting up in the oil field, man. So y'all can check that out for yourself. Well, company provided housing and up to $1,500 bonus per month travel allowance for non-local employees. What? That'll put a smile on your face. Schedule rotation: 14 days on, seven days off, 12-hour plus shifts. Don't just think it's just a 12-hour shift. It's a 12-hour plus change, man. Intensive training. CalFrac does give good training, and their orientation is they go above and beyond. Like they tell you their culture of what they're trying to do in the oil field, and they do a good job of training people. I most definitely give them that. They don't just all right, go figure it out. But yeah, so CalFrac, and I don't know if CalFrac's down here. I haven't seen any of their equipment down here, but I'm positive that they are in Williston, North Dakota. So for any of you guys that are up there that are thinking about applying for a fracking company, Liberty, CalFrac. Halliburton is not the best paying company, but Halliburton has its, I don't know how to put it, but Halliburton has its way, bro. Halliburton has its way. And shout out to the Road Ranger truck stop. They take the mud flap, and that's the best fuel discount you're gonna get. Cud Energy, that's another fracking company. Totally forgot about them. Let me get to you guys' comments for a second. Brandon Thomas. I'm doing 11 loads a day. Brandon Thomas, I know you killing it. Pro Water, Urgens, Cartwright, and the one Williston. Oh, that's classic. Brandon Thomas, bro, you nailed it. If you still watching, man, you nailed it. Hey, man, when I went up there the first time, bro, it was like I didn't know nobody when I went up there, man. I got a CDL. I know I'm gonna find some kind of work, and I went up there. That's that's exactly how it happened, man. Now with the amount of work that's available and the need for people, you should be able to secure something before you get there. Go up there, try it out, man. See if that's for you. And now's the perfect time. You're in the middle of summer. You get to see what North Dakota looks like. You get to enjoy the good time of the year, and you get to transition into the winter. J Dub, what's up, man? Yep, going over some job options in North Dakota and Texas. Where do I go to apply for Liberty Oilfield Services for truck driver jobs? Go to their website. Matter of fact, let's go to their website. Now, when I'm looking for any kind of oil field related job, Liberty Oilfield Services jobs, it says view all jobs. Go to their website. This is what I like to see right here. When you go to Liberty Oilfield Services website, this is what you're gonna see. I like seeing this on Liberty's website because when it's slow, like when the oil market didn't fill out, like I had to click see more. That is not there. They're hiring everywhere. Denver, Midland, El Reno, Oklahoma, Odessa, Midland, Car Carbelo, Cibolo, Texas, Henderson, Colorado, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Shreveport, Louisiana, El Reno, Oklahoma. I think I said that one already. Farmington, New Mexico. And it's job after job, job after job, job after job. I always check the oil field companies' websites from time to time, just because. And I usually check Halliburton, Calfrac, and Liberties. I don't really check Cud Energy like that. They got welder positions. If you got a CDL, they got some kind of need for you anyway. And hey guys, please hit that like and that subscribe button. And I wish I'd have said that early at the very beginning of this video. Appreciate you guys for joining me, hanging out with me tonight. I knew this was going to be a good lengthy video. I don't know if Mike Mischief is even awake or if he's going to sleep. But yeah, that's Liberty Oilfield Services website. So you got more than just trucking available to you. Go on their website. Look at that sand hauler, Henderson, Colorado. Monahans, Texas, mine equipment operator, maintenance coordinator, new hire trainee one. Like that's how much Liberty is hiring. That's how much Liberty is hiring. New hire trainer one. They're hiring like that. Field engineer. I mean, man, dude, like this is when you know the oil field is rolling. They got 82 open jobs. When it's slow, there'll be six. There'll be six little spots on here. They got 82. So where do you want to go at in the oil field? Let's let's say you want to go work at Halliburton. Halliburton oilfield jobs. Halliburton, North America. Boom, Halliburton website. That is a hydration unit. Yep, yep, that's a hydration unit. Now I've actually ran one of those right there before. Mine wasn't like that. Mine had an enclosed cab, and mine didn't have the chemical tanks. Like right next to this guy, right here on this side, that's what these little tanks are. So if he's having to add chemicals to the hydration, he can add it to it. It can be mixing. For example, sometimes they have you mix up. I think it's. I think it's gel, but it's not heavy though. They have you mix up some gel in that big old hydration, and they'll tell you how many barrels to how much chemical they want in it. And then once you got it mixed, you'll pump that off to the blender. The blender will pump that down the hole, and then you'll bring back on your fresh water. I've only done that maybe twice, but I know there are like sometimes instead of the chemicals being pumped into the tank, they want they want it directly injected. Directly injected means you don't have to think about the chemicals because the chemicals are usually being either pumped in by the guy over at the chem trailer, or if they have a third party company that's supplying chemicals, they're supplying the chemicals. You just pump. That's it, and that just makes your job even more easier. And Halliburton's hiring all over the place. Technical professional cementing. Cementing is another one. I've never done it. There are plenty of companies hiring in the oil field for cements. New Iberia, Williston, Fort Lupton, Houston, Victoria, Evansville, Wyoming, Odessa, Beeville, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Zanesville, Ohio. And dude, the date on these listings is the 25th. The 25th. And that's just on the first page. That's how much the oil field is going. So can't nobody say that the oil field is slow right now. The oil field is simply the oil field is not looking like the inflation rate that you're seeing on the price of everything. And then we start getting into an entirely different conversation. We start talking about politics. We also start talking about all that free money that was given out in 2020. That's what's going on right now. That money is getting made back. That that money is getting pulled back out of the hands of the people that it was being put into, because there's no way in the world that you would give that back. But y'all see it how you want to. Take what up? Yep, just going over some job options. Somebody left me a comment like, "Hey," I'm pretty sure they were joking, but they were like, "Hey, we tuned into your YouTube channel for job postings, and job updates." Because I know the last live stream that I made was not the best one. Because I started to make it, then I got a load and I had to go pick it up, and I was trying to salvage that versus just ending it after ten minutes or so. So, and Cadillac Jack, you can see right there. Apply at Liberty's number one. Liberty's number one. Calfrac after that. Halliburton is not going to be in my top five of paying companies to go um, work for. But Halliburton would be a great, let's see how to say this. Halliburton's a great company for somebody looking off in the distance at their future and their retirement. Halliburton's awesome because Halliburton, you can move around in the company unless they have a big shortage somewhere. They're not going to let you move around. Like if they're really short on people in frac, they're not going to let you move around in Halliburton. If they're short on people and you want to go somewhere else, they're going to get those positions filled and then trained up and experienced. Then hey, you pretty much go wherever you want. Because look at it as like a business, man. They have got to keep completing the jobs on time, doing a good job, so that they don't lose them to Cud, Liberty, Calfrac, so on and so forth. But Halliburton has the size that they can underbid a lot of companies. So you've got the big company benefit on your side of Halliburton. I think we already went over those guys. Locking, flowback day, night supervisor, and flowback operators. Locking. I didn't know Locking was still in North Dakota. I know where the office is, off of the Highway 5 going towards Montana. Wait a minute. That's two. Anyway, Sharp Oilfield Services. Liberty Oilfield Services. So, guys, you have Select Energy Services, water transfer. But for some of you guys that are looking to get into the oil field and you don't know if you want to go frack, water transfer is not as heavy as frack. There's going to be a lot of screw off time. It's a real good entry level thing to start into in the oil field. Just in the wintertime in North Dakota, make sure you do whatever they tell you to do to keep that water from freezing. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to have a time trying to keep that water from freezing. But what outside of that, really water freezing or something, water transfer is a really easy oil field job. I know women that I've met up there that do water transfer. Frac sand driver, MRI trucking, Bulldog services, field service technician, G Style. G Style does hydrovac technician. That means the swamper. 20 days on, 10 days off rotation. Let's look at that. So if you have a class B or a class A, you may like hydrovac. At least you know you try it out and see. Paid in-house training, referral bonus, quarterly bonus, safety bonus, 20 days on, 10 days off, 18 to $25 an hour. Benefits after 60 days. That's some garbage. Y'all can do 15 days or day one. Company housing is available. Hydrovac experience preferred, but will train the right person. Heavy equipment experience is a plus. G Style. And G Style's not going anywhere. G Style's one of those companies that I don't remember if they were up there during the rock water days, but I know they G Style showed up in the Bakken and kind of just started taking over some stuff like quietly, and then next thing you know, G Style, hey man, you know man, that man G Style, G Style. I'm like, oh okay, like I ain't never even heard of them. But, like they just kind of like slowly like kind of came in and just put roots in. Unlike for anybody that's in North Dakota, what's the name of that company that used to be on the right side of the road before you went down the hill to the bridge? They were there. They were hiring. They had all the brand new Peterbilts. They had all the brand new Kenworths. They had all them brand new trucks. And then a few months later, they had a sign on the fence. Trucks for sale. Because I went talked to one of the guys that was like a manager of there. He was like, yeah, they were trying to they were trying to build a company, but they ended up overspending. Then one of the partners left, and that was it. The guy didn't come back and went off with like half the money or something. I'm like, dang. And I missed out when they were selling the truck because they were selling the trucks for like 25,000 for these. Let's see. This was 19, I think, 18 to 19. They were selling these trucks for like 25, 30,000. Now they were oil field trucks, but they were 2013s, 2011s, W900s, 379s, all specked out, the three axles, long nose, classic style trucks. But it is what it is, man. I think we already went over that one. Nexus Oilfield Solutions in Williston. Frac equipment operator. What? Up to 100,000 a year. Oh. I think I have exhausted you guys at an hour and 31 minutes. We are going indeed. Liberty has a virtual job fair going on. See, man, Brandon Thomas be knowing. Well, at least they used to. What have you been up to? Had to put my phone on charger. J Dub, I've been chilling, man. I've been chilling, ran a little bit, made some money this week. Hotel today and hotel tomorrow. And as far as hotels in the area, this Motel 6 is the best price motel in the area. And it's right off Interstate 20. There are two gas stations close by, and the mainstay is behind me. There's a, I don't know what that hotel is across the street. They're both more expensive. This hotel is the cheapest hotel in town, period. And the location's not bad. And it's got truck parking. So there are quite a few hotel options, and the prices are better than they were in the Bakken when I was up there. Because to get a hotel for $50, $52 plus $52 with tax and all in the Bakken when I was up there, like I think the only one that was close to that was the Missouri Flats and the Missouri Inn, the one that's right there next to Boomtown Babes. But I stayed there later after the boom, and that was kind of the hooker and meth head hotel. I don't know what it was like before that, but the Vegas was like the hooker and meth head hotel during the boom, and it was clear. There was no question. Man, where the black barbershops out here at? They're wherever they're behind the trees. You hear me, Brandon Thomas? The black barbershops in North Dakota are behind the trees. Matter of fact, they're behind the fully grown pine trees. Let me know when you find one. And J Dub, thanks for hanging out. Shout out to you, Brandon Thomas. Thanks for hanging out. Please, you guys, subscribe, like, all of that stuff, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Cause it's been a while since I made a good quality live video. And there might be a delay on what? Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Where the black barber shops at. That's hilarious. That's all I can really. Oh yeah. Hey man, to any of you guys that are thinking about coming out here to West Texas, there is one thing I wish I'd have brought it up early in the video. Excuse me. I wish I had brought it up earlier in the video. To all you guys that are out there, thinking about coming out here to West Texas, listen, listen to this observation that I've seen. And it's sad that I have to say this on YouTube to the public and anybody and everybody that might see this. But please listen. These people drink and drive out here, man. These people drink and drive out here like it ain't nothing. These truck drivers be out here drinking and driving like it ain't nothing. So when you come out here driving, you need to be paying attention because I've seen more accidents out here than I have the past 2 years that I've been on the road. That's ridiculous. I've seen more accidents out here than I have when I was driving over the road. And I've only been out here for probably about 2 months. That's it. And I had a personal close call. I don't know if the guy was texting, falling asleep, or drunk. There ain't no other option. I may have talked about this in the other video. I may not because I think it happened after this. And so please, my bad. Oh man, I gotta put that. I gotta put that just so y'all can see. Oh, um, I was driving down 866 North, and there's a turnoff, but there's quite a few of them right there. And this guy was coming towards me. There's like three trucks, pickup trucks, and two of them were welding trucks. And I'm looking down the road, just looking down the road, and I see this dude within 20, maybe 30 feet come across that yellow line in front of my truck. If you've ever experienced when your heart sinks, like when something happens and your heart just sinks to your stomach, that's what I had happen because there was nowhere to go. If I'd have swerved, I'd have hit him, and I couldn't go across the yellow line because there was other vehicles behind it. And I had one or two options: hit him, or hit one of the other trucks. But for some reason, dude, like at the last second, that dude swerved back over because he was dead. Because I was doing 65. I don't know how fast he was driving. That dude was this close from killing himself. So, and I've seen plenty of getting them a 12 pack and walking back out to their truck. So be safe if y'all decide to come out here. You need to stay on your P's and Q's. You need to be looking at what's going on, man. You need to be looking at, because I can tell you, I have driven tired, and I've had one day of driving out here where I was like, I'm not hauling a load tomorrow because I was that tired, and I hadn't experienced that over the road. But out here, the sleep schedule it's weird because you get sleep when you get sleep, but then you may not be tired to sleep. So keep that stuff in mind. If you guys got any other questions, now's the time to ask them before we go our separate ways. And thanks to Cadillac Jack, here's Walmart to get. Yeah, J Dub says hit the Walmart to get you. Hey man, that's why I just cut it all off. I don't have to deal with it no more. Cut it off, line this right up, and be done with it. There are a lot more women out here in Texas and West Texas than there is in North Dakota. That I do like. It's that much of a reason I'm thinking about staying out here, just because of that. What the? Trying to see what else, man. Hold on a second. Trying to keep this live stream going as long as I possibly can because I don't have the resource of the command center like I did when I was up there in the Bakken. So stop screen. We're gonna stop that. We're gonna see what else we got. Screen share. Hold on a second. Let's we're gonna go to 2022. Huh. Yeah, I can do that. Can do that. We're going to share a video file. Hold on a second. We're gonna take a throwback to some old school. Well, I ain't gonna say old school, but some of my other YouTube related stuff. So hold on just a second, because I know y'all know who it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's currently 6 degrees. Real feel minus minus 15. I'm almost done loading this truck. I want to get it a bit above 40 inches of water, 40 inches of fluid. This is the nitrogen pump. I'm going to give you a quick walk around. Y'all can be the only people to see this video. So kind of give y'all an idea of what to look for, what to expect, some of the things that I do out here. It is really cold. But the entire winter in North Dakota is not always. My blowdown, which is kind of like my pressure relief of the tank. As I'm pumping fluid in, pressure builds, so I got to open all the way up so it'll keep the pressure lower in this tank and let the pressure from the other tank push the fluid this way. I'm trying to show you this real quick while I'm doing this. This deck motor is just running. That's just to keep it warm, so when they get it out there, they can start rolling. Hold on a minute. I need my gloves on, even though they're dirty. I'm trying to hold the phone with my gloves. Well, it's cold out there. But anyway, I'm currently at 41 inches right now. That's exactly what I want. I want about 42 to 43 inches in there. That's the deck motor. You can't really see it. We're gonna go around here to the other side. All of my valves over here are closed. And I'm almost done loading. That's my line. This is one of my vent valves. You can't really see it. I gotta stand. That's my line door. That's my vent valve here. When I get ready to cut it off, because I'm almost done loading. When I finish, I'm gonna check to see how much fluid I took out, how much pressure I got. Then I'm gonna come here. All right, guys, that right there is pumping nitrogen. For any of you that don't know what a pumping nitrogen is like, just kind of wanted to show you guys some of that, what it is, how it works, what we do. Shout out to Thor L. Falcon. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and share the heck out of this video with all your friends. Just got on with Star doing sandboxes, getting my feet wet. It seems like the money is in pneumatic though. Man, how's it over there, Star? Because this is not 90% for It says up to 90% for their owner operators. I'll run a bit, then put a blower on. So Thor L Falcon, you got your own authority, or how's it looking? Hey man, I missed some. Oh, I gotta back up. I missed some of this conversation, man. J Dub, those women know where the money is. Just don't waste your money on them. Brandon Thomas said, "I get ass on clearance." You hear me? And it just said on clearance, man. I ain't never heard that before in my life. On clearance, man. You something else, bro. No, I got it. Thor L Falcon, if you still watching, man, you owner operator, company driver. What's that breakdown for that owner operator truck and trailer? Authority and insurance. I'm gonna go back to this video for a minute. Then we're gonna
I'm gonna close off that valve.
and this is winter time in North Dakota.
I'm gonna vent that line right there. I'm gonna vent that line, and I'm gonna vent whatever's in this
Thor L Falcon. So what they doing? 80, 20, 85, 15.
line here, going into here. Now this is go recheck. Always recheck. Recheck every time. I'll recheck 3 times just because. Now, I got about 45 inches. I'm done.
Those of you that are looking to get into the oil field, what this guy's doing is called swamping.
Hey guys, I got to tell you.
That hose you see.
What this guy's doing, 80-20. So that other 10% is probably going to be if you're running underneath your authority with your own truck and trailer, more than likely. Thor L Falcon. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking in my head. But getting to this video, this guy's doing what's called swamping, and I've worked at Patriot. I'm telling y'all, everything that came out of the pumps and anything else went into that pit. And after they drained all the water out, ain't nothing left but that disgusting sludge in there. From whatever kind of bacteria, chemicals, H2S is absolutely off in there. And you could smell it. Like you could be outside the wash bay. You could be getting ready to make the turn to turn onto the street where the stop sign is to come past XTO, and you could smell that when they pumped all that water out of there. That's what was off in there until they hydrovaced it out. So know what you're getting into. You come to work in the oil field. If you're going to be working in frac and you're going to be working with the chemicals, you read your SDSs. You read what that chemical is, what it does, and the PPE that it requires for you to use. You use.
Is called the hydrovac, which sucks up dirt, water,
I have done
pretty much whatever you
I
can
have not done that.
pull up in that giant
I've
vacuum.
operated.
And what he's walking in and shoveling into there is the worst disgusting stuff in the oil field. And the video ain't long enough for me to explain it to you. All right, we were having an issue with the all thread, which is what this long bar is.
These all threads, if you go to work with a fracking company, you're going to have to do seats and valves. I'm trying to think, do I want to explain it or do I want to go to a video where I've already explained it? I'll probably do both. Anyway, that goes into a duct bill. The duct bill goes on there, you screw it into there, you put it off in the valve. Once you put it off in the valve, it's not going to come back out unless you stick your hand up underneath, push the duct bill back together, and the duct bill will slide back out. It's meant so when you push that sucker off in there, it widens out so that when you try to pull it back up, the duct bill is hooked onto these threads and you put the pancake down. My bad. Let me go through the right order. Put the duck bill off in the valve. Push the pancake over. Lift up the all thread. Put the all thread in into there until it touches the duck bill. You're gonna screw it in, and you're gonna screw it 10 to 15 turns so that you make sure that it's through the bottom of the duck bill and it spreads out so that it's pulling completely on that valve because you're probably going to put trying to get that out of there 300-400 pounds, maybe 500 pounds, probably more than that of pressure to get that valve out of there because when that pump strokes it's going to do what they call seating. So after you put the valves in, my bad, after you put the seats in, put your valves on top, they're going to go test the pump out to make sure that the pump seats the valves off in there because you're also supposed to hit them suckers and get them up in there. Just don't hit the seat with something metal, otherwise you're going to end up right back up with the same problem. Scoring or scarring or cutting the valves means that when that valve goes down on it and it's supposed to sit on it and seal, and then when you make the pump stroke, the spring comes up, goes back down. Spring comes up, goes back down. But if there's a scar in there, then that little bit of water, or if you're pumping in a frac, that water in that sand is gonna get off in that little line, it's gonna cut a hole in it. And every time it makes that stroke, and when you talk about pumping at 7,000 psi or 5,000 psi, depending on what the well calls for, like that is hold on just a second, and I'll get to the comment. That's gonna eat away. The worst one I've ever seen is working at Calfrac. I was running a hydro. I don't know what it was or how it happened. All I know is we lost the fluid head on the pump, and when they opened it up and looked at it, it had eaten through that water and sand had eaten through the seat all the way through the block, and it had a crack from where that pressure and that water and that sand was trying to get out. And like, it was bad. It looked like erosion from thousands of years, but it did it within minutes. It did it within 10, 15 minutes, probably, I say 30 minutes at the most. So that's an entire what, five to $10,000 fluid head that had to be replaced because it couldn't do nothing with it no more. Once that sucker eating through that valve, and then it eating through the metal itself or the fluid head, that fluid head is done. That fluid head's got to be taken back to Dragon, SPM, or whoever else they got it from. That's thousands. That's tens of thousands of dollars they got to pay for. Then they got to have it shipped back to them. Then the labor of having to have it put back in. So when you're going out here to work, it's really important that you get trained by the best people, and don't be afraid to tell somebody, I want to work with the best. You going to go do something in the oil field that you're not familiar with, you don't know, look them in their face and tell them, I want to work with the best people. I want to be trained by the best. Look them in their eyes and tell them, and make sure that they understand that. And there ain't no question about it. Because I tell you right now, I'll take less money to learn from the best than getting more money to learn from people that know less. Because the best people gonna know all the little shortcuts. They're gonna know all the benefits of. Nate Yoder, in my opinion, was one of the best supervisors because Nate knew answers to stuff that nobody else knew answers to. I've seen Nate Yoder go do stuff when we were working in the oil field. Like, what the heck isn't like? I don't know what he's doing, and I wanted to know what he's doing because he already knew the answer. The immediate when it happened. So keep that stuff in mind, man. You come out here to the oil field, learn as much as you possibly can, and Roy Rodriguez, who's making 3,500 leasing company. Is that like a question you're asking because you want to know, or is that like a sarcastic question? Who's making 3,500 leasing company? I don't know how to answer that. So some of you guys got to answer for that. You know, who's making 3,500 leasing? You should be making more than that leasing to a company, or is that like are you asking who's making at least 3,500 as a company driver versus leasing? So I don't know how you want to. But if somebody has an answer for that, right now is the time to run.
It's a big, long, threaded bolt, pretty much. And we put that off into the duckbill, and the duckbill goes inside the seats that go inside the pump. And we use that along with the pancake to pull the seats out when we're removing seats. And this is just some video of pumping nitrogen. That's like steam, cold steam, pretty much coming off of that.
March the 20th, y'all know how stuff is looking right now. You know the way the world market is looking, the United States market, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You look at Halliburton, WPX. Hold on. You look at Halliburton, Murphy Oil, GE, NOV, that's National Oilwell Varco, Occidental Petroleum, Schlumberger, BP, ConocoPhillips, ExxonMobil, EOG, and the list goes on. You know, so I can't tell anybody to come to the oil field or to even be looking in this direction right now. And we're going to find out within the.
And this was 2020. So this isn't current. This is I'm going back to some older oil field videos and stuff.
That's how it goes, what's going to happen. I'm setting everything up so after lunch we'll come back, test this pump, make sure everything's working and running good. That's a prime up line.
So I've operated quite a
That's why I'm saying I'm going to come back. The rubber gasket looks pretty new.
Equipment.
Channel as always. The 10 is in Colorado. But
yeah. This was my last video. This was 2 parts when we were still working, going out the location, all the way up until the point where this video was like the day before we got laid off. And all of the video, including the part where wherever I was standing with an oil well behind me. This was the day after that. So, yep. What else? Hold on a second. What?
Just sitting there, just kind of curious and caught my attention. But a lot of stuff is changing up here in the Bakken, man. The Bakken is a small shale play, but they're trying to establish as much out of it as they possibly can. And that's why the work has been up here. The pay has been the way it's been up here because. What's up, y'all? JPTV 3000. You know what YouTube channel it is. You know what we do. We talk about oil field stuff. And today, as you can obviously see, we got a piece of oil field equipment or slash tool. Now, what we have here is a fluid end. That's what this big block of metal is. This is a quad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quadruplex. Triplexes, quad, tris, quins, and quads. And tri is a 1, 2, 3. A quad is a 4, a quin is a 5, I think. I may be saying that wrong, but you know, it's all good. But just gonna show y'all when you come to the oil field, you come over here to frack, you fracking, and a couple of things you're gonna see, you're gonna learn, you're gonna have to. And here, what you say? What is that? This is
Hold
your.
up, let's go back just a second.
And
All right. When I was talking about the seat getting washed out, take the spring out. Underneath that spring is your valve. The valve, every time that pump strokes, that valve up underneath that seat, it comes up, and then the pressure from that spring, when the pressure from the water is released, goes back down, goes back down. So every time that pump strokes, it builds up pressure, it pushes it down the pipe.
here, what you say? What is that? This is your spring. If your spring comes out of the top, your spring goes back in the top. This is your valve. This is where the action happens. This is your valve. Your seat is that metal piece right here.
Now, where your seat is, anytime you're going to go check your pump, sometimes you can just put your ear next to the crush cap that's on the side, and you just listen, see how it sounds. Do you hear any whooshing sounds like whoosh, 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 exactly like that? Or do you hear like a ticking sound? Do you hear almost like a suction sound? A suction sound usually means your seal on your your crush cap is either it's starting to wear out, or it's starting to get worn, and that's usually when it's making a whooshing sound, like almost like it's like a, I can't explain it, but once you get familiar with working with frac, you pretty much gonna learn that how it works, what it does, and what this different equipment does and how it works. But right around here, I don't know if y'all can tell. You probably can't see the mouse on the screen, but where my finger is, that round metal part, you'll put your finger in there. Sometimes you can feel it with gloves. Sometimes you can't feel it with gloves. If you feel any kind of indentation, you have to watch that, because depending on how much wear you have, especially when you're in frac, you're going to get a lot more wear on there a lot faster. Doing stuff like uh, coil tubing, you're not going to get wear on those that much unless you're sand cutting or something.
That's your seat. The valve, as the water pressure gets pushed in by that plunger. Is there a plunger in here so I can show you? Oh, I don't see a plunger. Might be a plunger outside. Uh, Plunger comes in, pushes the water up. This valve comes up. Then as the plunger goes back, it goes back down. This spring is a pretty heavy duty spring. That spring is the action that pushes the valve back down once the pressure gets to a certain point, and then it pumps. That plunger down there goes in and out, just like a piston in a motor. Any of you who don't know what I'm talking about. But these, they all go back in there in the same order. You're gonna get to working on frac pumps. Do not forget your spring. You're gonna have to go back into that pump, find your spring, put the spring back in there. Don't put the spring in there upside down. Doesn't go in there like that. Your spring goes in there just like this. The same thing with your bottom, which this bottom plunger's in the way. That's about 60 pounds. And there's a keeper. Don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can. Yeah, right there. That part right there, that's the keeper. It goes in there sideways. You take a T-bar, stick it off in there, and you twist it, and the keeper comes out, and there's another valve and spring just like this in the bottom. And it works the exact same way. That's pretty much it.
This is your top. Your top will always be different from your bottom. Just about every pump I've ever seen, the top was different from the bottom. Anyway, to put it back in there, you're just gonna go in the same order. Make sure you put your valve back in there and it seats. It seats. The word is seat. It seats back in there or sits back in there. Spring goes back on top. Now, some you need to realize. You may learn this over time or somebody will tell you. You need to clean this. When you take this pump out of there, you need to clean it and use either white grease or oil. PB Blaster is fine if you don't have anything else, but really you want to use oil on these. And you want to clean these every single time. You take them out, you put them back in, you clean them. Brake clean first, wire brush if it gets dirty, wipe it off, put it back in. And it's going to go just like this. Valve, spring, and make sure you seat that in there. Now, I don't have a hammer or a bar, which you would take the butt of the hammer and knock it down so that it sits, it sticks. But right now, it's pushing up against the spring and I don't have nothing to knock it down off in there with. Or something to hold the camera with. So, it's got to sit like that. Plus, that's the way it was when I came in here. So that's
You see this guy's trailer right here?
He was not.
Now this video, I walked up to this dude in his truck and said, "Hey, there's water coming out of your truck." He looked at me. Okay, I'm on the phone. I was like, "But you got water coming out of your truck." He's like, "I'm on the phone." I was like, "Okay, all right." And I walked back there, went and put my information in. And as I was putting my information in, I noticed it said gallons instead of barrels. If you ever hauling water, please don't get that confused because I'm positive that is exactly what happened to this guy. He put the number in for he put the number in thinking it was for barrels, but it was for gallons. So some places you go to, it'll be you'll put in 150 barrels. In some places you have to know, okay, there are 42 gallons in an oil field barrel. And you have to put the gallons in there. So all of the places are different. But guys, I think we have hung out long enough and it's 10 o'clock. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Once again, hit that like button, subscribe. And if you guys want more videos like this with breakdowns of what goes on in the oil field, more interviews, let me know. And we're going to get these suckers out of here. And I got to get a long list of shout outs to all the people, man. It's a whole lot of you guys. Brandon Thomas, thank you. Junebug Trucking, Down Tube 8FS, Diana Gonzalez. Who else? Shout out to Tanker Monkey. Shout out to Chasing Andrew Jackson. Shout out to Bag Chaser. Shout out to J Trades. Shout out to Eastside. Shout out to Charles Lowe. Shout out to Cadillac Jack. Shout out to J Dub. What's up, man? Shout out to who came in? Thor L. Falcon. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Roy Rodriguez. Once again, all you guys that are out there, this is JP with JP TV 3000. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Holler at y'all later. Just gave y'all a big old shout out. So if you want to go back and watch the video, this is a good link to 2-hour long video of trucking in the oil field jobs and information and my personal views and perspectives on the oil and gas industry. I'm just now seeing this. I would have loved to join next time. Okay, all right. Shout out to Callie, aka Bag Chaser. Callie's out here getting money. I will, bro. I will. This was kind of a I'm trying out the StreamYard because I've been had some ideas on making a show and bringing in guests and stuff and kind of doing it regularly. So this is kind of the first one I've done with StreamYard, and I'm pretty much just getting used to how it works, what all I can incorporate into it, and I'm pretty much just getting started because I've got an idea of a show, and I'm pretty sure that I can produce the show myself, make the show myself. The biggest thing is I want the show to have guests, and I want it to have a look, and I want it to have a consistency of a show, just like you would see a show if you were watching TV. So this is JP, JP 3000, saying YouTube channel is all. As always, follow your trucking and oil field videos. Check out JP from JP 3000. That's J as in Jerry, P as in Peter, TV as in television 3000. All one word. Follow your trucking and oil field videos. Peace.